Hey everyone, and welcome to this Forge College Explainer. All right, let's dive right in. If you've been following along in our smart contract security track, you know we're officially kicking off the capstone phase today. We are transitioning from our last lesson on composing individual security patterns into something much more substantial, the actual integrating security patterns in development module. We are taking all those theoretical puzzle pieces we've learned about and building a real professional integration plan. Because honestly, knowing how to forge a sword doesn't mean you know how to win a war. Today, we bridge that gap.
Think about it like this. Having a bunch of brilliant security patterns without a master plan is essentially like having a random pile of heavy-duty locks, reinforced steel doors, and concrete blocks. Sure, the individual components are incredibly strong, but without holistic design, you don't have a fortress. You just have a highly secure, completely unusable pile of rubble. Holistic security is that meticulously drafted blueprint where every single component knows its exact role. And that blueprint is exactly what we are building today. Consider this our architectural schematic for the day. We'll establish our building mental model, design our holistic security, break down the 5 phases of the secure development lifecycle, apply it all to a token vault, and outline your final capstone mission. Let's get into it. Part 1, the building mental model. We are looking at security as interdependent systems. Holistic security design is one of those buzzwords that gets thrown around a lot, right? But here is what it actually means for us Web3 developers. It is an approach that treats security as an emergent property. It's the result of interacting controls across different layers. It is absolutely not just an additive checklist. You don't just sprinkle some rate limiting on your code like it's seasoning and call it a day. Holistic security requires us to understand how all these layers talk to each other, ensuring that absolute safety emerges from the entire system working together seamlessly. So think of building a smart contract exactly like designing a massive, multi-story building. Access control? Well, those are your key cards and door locks. Rate limiting is your elevator capacity, preventing too many people from cramming in at once and breaking the cables. Defensive programming is your structural reinforcement, and a circuit breaker? That is your emergency fire door. But here's the catch. If you slam a fire door shut, it brilliantly stops the fire from spreading. But you better have designed a fallback stairwell. Otherwise, your users are permanently trapped inside a burning building, which, as you can imagine, is notoriously bad for user retention. Moving on to part 2, designing holistic security. We'll be mapping interactions and verifications visually. To avoid those catastrophic situations where you accidentally trap your users, we need to map out exactly how our security patterns interact. Your core blueprint needs to track everything systematically. What pattern you're using, what layer it lives in, the specific disaster it prevents, and this is crucial, precisely how you'll verify it works. You can't just claim you have a functional circuit breaker, you have to prove it with rigorous unit tests and access audits. Remember, every time you compose patterns, you are making deliberate design trade-offs. A locked stairwell prevents unauthorized access, sure, but it also blocks recovery during an emergency. Graceful degradation is the key here. A hastily planned pause function might temporarily save the funds, but if it permanently bricks the protocol because there's absolutely no way to unpause it, well, congratulations, you've protected the funds so well that not even the legitimate owners can get them back.
All right, part 3, the 5 SDLC phases. This is our secure development lifecycle workflow. So how do we actually pull this off systematically without losing our minds or making a critical error? By using the 5 phases of the secure development lifecycle: definition, design, implementation, verification, and operations. Please don't think of this as boring corporate red tape. It is literally your survival guide. This is the precise timeline that will get your capstone project successfully over the finish line entirely intact. In the definition and design phases, you are doing all your homework before you write a single line of code. You are translating your broad pattern choices into explicit one-page threat models, prioritized asset lists, component-level design diagrams, and highly explicit modifier ordering sequences. If you don't map out what you're protecting and how the pieces fit together now, your code is just going to be a tangled mess later. Next, we move into implementation and verification. This is where the heavy lifting happens. Your deliverables shift from diagrams to rigorous testing proof. You need continuous integration pipelines that automatically run static analysis on every single pull request. You'll need exhaustive unit test coverage reports. You'll be utilizing fuzzing and property-based tests. And you'll maintain a strict remediation backlog. You aren't just building the thing. You are actively trying to destroy it in a controlled environment to ensure it holds up. Finally, deployment and operations. The deliverables here are your ultimate safety nets, pre-deploy go or no-go checklists, on-chain monitoring dashboard rules so you can actually spot an attack in real time, and dry-run incident response playbooks, because knowing exactly who is allowed to pause the contract and how they do it under extreme stress at 3 a.m. is just as vital as the Solidity code itself.
Section 4, Building the Token Vault. Let's look at a concrete capstone example.
Let's bring all this abstract theory down to earth and apply these exact 5 phases to a very real Web3 scenario, building a token vault contract. In phase 1, our threat model identifies the top 3 absolute nightmares for our vault. Number 1, unauthorized administrative access. Number 2, a mass drain via a reentrance attack. And number 3, a high-frequency withdrawal denial of service attack. By identifying these specific nightmares up front, we know exactly which patterns we need to deploy to stop them.
During phase 2, secure design saves us from a logical disaster. We explicitly define our modifier ordering. For instance, only when not paused, absolutely must run before rate limited. Why? Because if there is an active hack and you slam that emergency pause button, it needs to work instantly. Accidentally rate limiting your own emergency pause function because you put the code in the wrong order is a hilariously terrible idea that could cost millions of dollars. By charting out a rate limiter threshold compared against normal traffic and a DOS attack attempt, we verify that our vault degrades gracefully under extreme stress. Our normal users get their funds without a hitch, but the automated bot attack, it simply hits the threshold ceiling and gets bounced, keeping the entire protocol alive and functioning.
And that brings us to Section 5, your capstone mission. Let's connect the pipeline.
Now it is time to take everything we've mapped out in this kickoff and prepare your primary deliverable for the capstone evaluation. Your mission is to create a one-page integration plan. But listen, it can't just be a simple list. It must be completely comprehensive. It must include SDLC phase mapping for each security pattern you choose. It must list specific verification tools and unit tests you will use. It needs highly measurable acceptance criteria and explicit trace links back to your original pattern composition notes. This single page is the hard proof that your technical choices will survive the harsh realities of development and operations.
Keep this core principle in mind as you work. The SDLC phases you write down are not bureaucratic steps, but a traceable pipeline that converts hypotheses into evidence. You are hypothesizing that a rate limiter makes you secure. The pipeline is how you generate the hard evidence to prove it. This traceable pipeline is exactly what elevates your capstone from a simple set of coding features into a highly defensible, auditable design.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself, are your security patterns just a pile of isolated features, or have you actually crafted an emergent, holistic design? Let that single question guide every decision you make in this capstone. Thank you so much for joining me for this Forge College Explainer. Be sure to visit forge.college to dive deeper into this integration process and master even more fascinating Web3 security topics. Happy building and keep those smart contracts safe.